Greetings everyone, I am the goddess known as Jackie Gates. Do you remember in the 1950s, and it's still going strong, there's a game called The Price is Right. Basically, for those of you who are not in the US, I had never heard about it until I got here, but basically the format is that the contestants will see a product and guess what the price is within a dollar or two, and whoever guessed closest was the one who won it. So my thinking was that these people had to be really serious studiers of the, I suppose, everything. The advertising flyers, whatever they could get their hands on to work out what a price was. They knew what price the market was demanding for that particular product. I read an interesting blog post today from Johnny Truant about paying the price of things. And it got me thinking. In this blog post, he was talking about the price that we pay for what we want. For example, he had a friend who went on an amazing exercise program and got this fabulous six-pack of abs. The guy apparently wrote an article, a blog post, whatever, about how he did it, step by step, what exercises he did, what he ate, what he gave up, how many hours a day, and exactly the exercises that he did to get that six-pack of abs. Johnny, this is not his real name, but the blogger, decided that that particular price was too much. In other words, he didn't want the six-pack of abs enough to pay that price. So often we go through life saying things like, I want to be thin, I want to be rich, I want to be famous. Let's think a little bit about those things. I want to be thin. We all know anybody who is sensible enough to have read a bit or heard a bit, you know how to get thin. You have to exercise more and eat less. The price you pay for thinness is an hour a day of exercise. And we're not talking just a slow stroll around the block, we're talking about exercise. And not eating your favorite things, more than likely. None of that chocolate cake, none of the Halloween candy. It's salads, it's protein, it's lean stuff. It's generally the things that we don't crave. So that's the price you pay. So often we're not prepared to pay that price. We look for a quick fix. We look for a pill that will circumvent that. Any article in a magazine that touts lose 20 pounds without exercising, the magazine will sell out. People who sell diet potions and whatnot, don't change anything you eat and you'll still shed pounds. Yes, that's what people want, because they're not prepared to pay the price. Let's look at I want to be rich. Did you know that Donald Trump only sleeps about 3 or 4 hours a day? So many of, Richard Branson is another one, so many of the mega achievers on this planet don't sleep much. And there is a further price in that if you want to get rich, you have to work hard. There's a lot of hours involved in the beginning. Now, I'm not saying it's all that way, because the wonders of network marketing is that there is residual income, so that eventually after doing lots of work for very little reward, you get a lot of reward for not quite so much work. But in the beginning, you're antisocial because you don't have time to go out. You generally have to make some kind of agreement with your family because they're not going to see as much of you. You don't watch television. You don't spend your money on things that you'd like. You spend it on mentoring, and you spend it on hosting accounts and all this kind of stuff. There is a price to pay. But again, so many people start looking for the quick fix. They will say, they'll buy a program that says, I'll make you into a millionaire in 6 short weeks. They fork over the money, but they don't do the work. Or they expect that one program to be everything for them. It's not like that. The price of success is work. There is no getting away from it. Even if you're incredibly talented, you're still going to have to work. I found a quote here in this book I'm reading, and it says, "If everyone knew how hard I had to work to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem wonderful at all." And the gentleman who said that was Michelangelo, after having lied for 4 years on his back to paint the Sistine Chapel. Would you do that? Would you lie on a scaffold 20, 30 feet in the air for 4 years for a painting? Let's talk about famous. I know what it's like to be famous, even if it's just for a little while. We all think about being famous at some point or another. In fact, some people actually go after fame without actually having the substance to back it. Paris Hilton is one. But nonetheless, fame has a price. Yes, you've got all the good stuff that comes with it, the nice tables at crowded restaurants, the money, the free dresses to wear to the Oscars, this kind of thing. But you have no privacy. You are never sure what people are going to print about you, what photographs they're going to take. These are the kind of things, and you never know what crazies you're going to find too. Ask Jodie Foster. So there is always a price. But, and this is the important thing that I wanted to share with you today, is that if you're not prepared to pay the price, don't whine about not having your dreams. I have been battling with for the past 10 years, 5 years, with the same 15 pounds of weight. And you know what? I'm done whining about it. Because basically, I'm not prepared to pay the price to shift that 15 pounds of weight. And when I started network marketing, yes, there were some things in my mindset that probably could have been better. But I'll tell you now, being scrupulously honest, I wasn't prepared to pay the price. I wasn't prepared to step back, put my ego aside and say, teach me what I need to know. I see so many people who say, this doesn't work. This hasn't worked for me the same way as it did for this person and that person. And more often than not, they have refused to pay the price. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to be successful. I'm not saying everybody has to be thin. I'm not saying any of those things. What I'm saying is if you want something and you know what the price is for that, whether it's time, money, effort, dedication, persistence, whatever that is, either pay the price or choose not to. Don't blame people outside of yourself for things you haven't got. The things you haven't got are because you chose not to have them. I know this is a tough lesson, and believe me, I've been going over this for the past 2 days because my mentor, Diane Hochman, has basically given us a call to arms. Our Home and Small Business Network is about to launch. There's a lot of work to be done, and people have to step up and do what they've promised to do. I am one of those people, and I'm ready. I am willing to pay the price, the hours, the lack of finances for the moment, the time that it takes to hone a skill, to learn to present educational stuff properly, to hone the things on my blog that need to be fixed, to do all the things that entail paying the price for the success that I want. So I'm inviting you. Do you have something that you've said you've wanted? Is there something that you've been dreaming of? Have you looked at what the price actually is? Not some airy-fairy idea of what you think it might be, but researched it. Have you looked into what it will take to get to where you want to be? And then decide. You will either pay the price, or you will say, it's not for me. The price is too steep. I'm not prepared to pay for it. Therefore, I will do without. But whatever you do, don't blame anyone outside of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have to pay the price for what you want. Or you have to settle for just good enough. And I'm so hoping that you'll join me and pay that price and reap the rewards. Because you know what they say, it's not crowded at the top. And the path less traveled is often not quite so crowded. I'm wishing you a goddess-worthy day. I hope that you will comment below, opt in on my blog, keep in touch. I look forward to talking to you. Have a fabulous day.